Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down something pretty cool, how a grocery store, or really any retailer, can take years of old sales data and turn it into a crystal ball for predicting what's coming next.
All right, so let's just jump right in. This quote right here, this isn't some textbook problem. This is a real deal challenge for a growing grocery chain. They've already done the hard work of cleaning up their data, and now they're asking, okay, what's next? How do we actually use this stuff?
And that right there is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you take all that raw data, just years of numbers, and find the actual reliable forecast inside? It's all about finding that clear signal hidden in all the noise. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through today, the step-by-step process for turning history into a roadmap for the future.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about what from data to signal even means. Then, what ingredients you need to get started. We'll spend a good bit of time on the 5-step workflow. That's the real engine here. After that, we'll see how to actually forecast the future, and finally, bring it all home to see the real business impact. Let's get to it.
All right, section 1, from clean data to signal. Now, it's super important to get this straight. You don't just jump into finding the signal. That's actually step 3 in the grand scheme of things. This whole process only works because of all the hard work that came before it. Cleaning up messy data, making sure everything is trustworthy. If you don't have that solid foundation, anything you build on top is just going to fall apart.
So really, what are we talking about when we say data to signal? It's simple, really. It's the process of turning what happened in the past into smart predictions that actually help you make better decisions for the future. It's not about looking at numbers. It's about getting a strategic edge.
Okay, on to our next section, the ingredients for insight. So what exactly do you need to pull this off? What's in the toolkit?
Well, it's a mix of two things, really. You've got your internal data. That's stuff you already own. We're talking at least 2 years of sales history, details about your stores, your products, when you ran promotions, all that good stuff. But, and this is key, you also need external data. Things like holiday schedules and even daily weather, because, a sunny Saturday sells a lot more burgers than a rainy one, right? All right, now we're getting to the heart of it, the 5-step workflow. This is the methodical process that really uncovers those hidden trends. This is where the magic happens.
So check this out. It all starts with decomposition. You're basically taking your sales data and breaking it apart into its core pieces, the overall trend, the seasonal ups and downs, and then just the random noise. Step 2 is clustering. This is super cool. It's where you group similar patterns together to find what we call archetypes. From there, you go to forecasting, where you actually build the models to predict the future. But you can't just trust a model blindly, right? That's why step 4, evaluation, is so critical. You have to test these things to make sure they're accurate. And finally, you get to insights, which is all about turning those model results into stuff the business can actually do something with.
And that clustering step we just talked about, this is what it gives you. It automatically finds these demand archetypes. The data itself tells you, hey, this wasn't a normal week, this was a holiday week. Or, look, this week was driven by warm weather. It's a summer barbecue week. And that's huge. It means you can stop treating all weeks the same and start planning for what's really going on. You'd staff and stock way differently for a barbecue week than a normal one.
So now that we've found those patterns, it's time for the next big step, forecasting the future. This is where we choose the right model to do the heavy lifting.
So you basically have 2 main tools in your toolbox here. On one side, you have your classic statistical methods. Think of these as being really good at spotting clear, time-based patterns, like seasonality. They're also easier to explain, why they're making a certain prediction. On the other hand, you have machine learning. These models, like XGBoost, are absolute powerhouses. They can handle super complex relationships between tons of different factors, like weather, promotions, and holidays all at once. They might be a bit more of a black box, but wow, they can be incredibly accurate.
Look, building a model is, it's the easy part. The hard part is knowing if you can actually trust it. And that's why evaluation is so important. You have to test your models against historical data they've never seen before. Use metrics and techniques like backtesting to make absolutely sure they're reliable predictors of the future, not just good at describing the past.
Okay, last section, from insights to impact. We've done all this work, we've cleaned the data, we've found the patterns, we've built the models. So what? What's the actual business value here?
This is the payoff. You can finally put a number on things. Instead of just guessing that a promotion worked, this workflow can tell you that a specific holiday promotion drives get this, a 15% sales lift. That's not a guess, that's a quantifiable fact. You move from I think to I know, and that is a total game changer for any business.
And once you know things like that, it just unlocks everything. Suddenly you can do much better staffing because you know when the customers are coming. You can create optimized promotions because you know what drives demand. You can build smarter inventory systems so you have less waste and fewer stockouts. You can even start doing real strategic planning because you finally understand how things like the weather actually impact your bottom line. It changes everything.
So let me leave you with this question. This whole thing, it's not just some data science project, right? It's a tool that lets you see around the corner. So, if you could reliably predict future demand for your business, what's the very first thing you would change? That's the power of moving from data to signal.